Hi everyone, my name is Nicholas, and today I'm going to be doing an analysis on 1984, The Demonic World of Oceania, The Mystical Adulation of the Sacred Leader by Erika Gottlieb. So today my presentation is going to be focusing on the triple paradox, but more specifically, war is peace. War is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. This mantra may seem contradictory in nature. How can war bring peace or freedom lead to slavery? These are the words plastered on every wall and engraved on every coin in Oceania. In this essay, Erika Gottlieb explores how these concepts, collectively known as the triple paradox, relate to mysticism, which is the complete surrender to a higher being. Today, I will be focusing on the first of these three paradoxes, war is peace. The author argues that while O'Brien calls this process learning, it is in reality a form of purgation, the purification or cleansing of someone or something. She explores how this idea parallels the spiritual journey taken by many mystics throughout history. Orwell contrasts past and present notions of war through Goldstein's novel, outlining two key points about war. So the first being, in past ages, a war almost by definition was something that sooner or later came to an end. And the second being, but when war becomes literally continuous, it also ceases to be dangerous. Clear commonality between these two passages is how the very nature of war itself has been reconfigured under Big Brother's rule. Big Brother has found that if the finite nature of war was in itself vaporized, the party can maintain a consistent control over its population. This perpetual war works to cleanse the minds of the party subjects. If they don't know of a world beyond war, they cannot even imagine an alternate state of being. This conditioning of the mind is then weaponized by the party through propaganda and hate to be a sense of blind divine love for the almighty Big Brother, which then correlates back to the essay. This surrender to divine worship is further detailed in the essay through Winston's conditioning in the aptly named Ministry of Love. The essay's author reflects on how O'Brien is able to condition Winston into willingly believing that four fingers are actually five. This manipulation of reality mirrors how the party, like many religious institutions in the past, can twist the minds of its followers into accepting any reality it deems necessary, under the pretext, of course, of peace and divine reasoning. This process, which is described as purgation through the senses in the essay, removes any need for people to think for themselves, which ultimately leaves them susceptible to believing anything a divine figure puts in front of them. We've seen it time and time again throughout history. How many Protestants and Catholics were burnt at the stake in the name of religious purity? Or how many civilizations have persecuted Jewish communities on the basis of an ignorant sense of religious superiority? So on the right, we could see images depicting these historical events and reflect on how they mirror what's going on in 1984. This brings us to the core of Gottlieb's comparison between mysticism and 1984. While religions and the mystics who blindly follow them may preach peace superficially, at their core they often engage in a form of doublespeak themselves. Peace is never achieved through collaboration and understanding, but rather through conflict and persecution. This is what underscores both the party's regime and many religious institutions throughout history. Both divine love and totalitarian power demand complete surrender of the mind to a higher being, and both achieve what they call peace through war. So, as we can see on the right, while they may preach that things are great superficially, underneath the surface, there's a lot more going on. This brings me to my final point that's going to be focusing more on the psychological warfare going on. So, Erika Gottlieb moves on to describe how the party deliberately engineers characters that represent sanctity and satanic traits, stock figures, if you will. The role of these often fabricated figures is to wage an internal war within the minds of the citizens of Oceania. The party needs to create villainous figures to channel the rage and frustration of the population in a way that promotes the ideals of Big Brother. So a great passage that I found that I loved in the essay says how it is due to the experience of the communal ecstasy of hate directed at the satanic Goldstein that the true believer is uttering a prayer to Big Brother, the Savior. And this passage perfectly encapsulates the connection between mysticism and 1984, where we have these two stock figures, Goldstein, the enemy, and we have Big Brother, the savior, the hero. And yet, what's interesting is that the face of the enemy, whether it be Goldstein or prisoners of East Asia, their faces don't really matter. They're interchangeable. So the point that the party is trying to employ is that The person we are fighting is not what's crucial, but rather the act of fighting itself is what needs to be kept constant. This worship of Big Brother, fueled by the manipulative tactics of the party, illustrates the endless war plaguing this society. Through misdirection and purgation, the party wages a war psychologically, ultimately leading to a false sense of peace in Oceania. By distorting reality, the party ensures that the concept of peace is contingent on perpetual war. Thank you.